Welcome to Python MyPy. In this episode we're going to take a look at lists, as in lists of data, and we're going to learn how to reference individual items within that list. A list refers to a collection of data that's normally related in some way, one way to another. For instance, suppose our program needs to store 5 different people's ages. Then we can create a list of those different ages. And we do this by declaring the variable name. So we're just going to go our ages. And then we're going to go equals, and we're going to use square brackets. Now we can list out our data. And we do this simply by using the comma method. So we can go 14, 16, 18, 32, and 37. And with that, we now have our ages listed. Now, if we print out this data, you'll get everything all in one go. But if we want to refer to an individual item in this list, then we simply put in some square braces and we type in the index value of whatever we're referencing. So if I type in 0, that should pull up 14. If I type in 4, that should pull up 37. So this now has a value of 0 in terms of index, and this has a value of 4. This is important to remember because we've actually entered 5 different items, but because it references 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it means you've got to subtract 1 from the overall total of the items. You can also display a range of numbers instead of just one single index, and we can do that simply by going 2, colon, and 4. Now when we run this, you'll see the existing 18 and 32 together, and that's because it's at this position and this position. You'll notice when we use that method we lose the 0 index value. So if we type in 0, colon, 4 and we run this program, we get the range 14, 16, 18 and 32. If we go 0 to 1, we then receive the first, which is 14. If we went 1 to 1, we receive nothing. So you need to extend that entire range. It will only pick it up if you're saying begin and end at this cell. So it's beginning at 0 and it's ending at 1. If we want to add in an additional value there, we can increase this to 2, and then it will list the first 2 values. If we leave this blank and we simply put in 2, it will count it as 0 and carry on in the same way. And if I put 0 here and I simply remove the 2, it will then print out everything all together because it will go to the end of the list. If we enter both blank, we also get the full array. So this tool allows us to select a range of values within the actual list itself. If we wish to add an additional item to a list, then we simply type in our ages and we use the method append, and then we push the value we want into the array. So for example, if I go 42 and then we just copy our print statement a second time and run the program, you'll see that that number has been added to the end of the list. We can also remove the item again by referencing the index directly. To do this, we simply type in del and then we go our ages and we reference the index value. Now this is the 0 to final range. As we know, our list has 6 items, so we're going to type in 5, and that should get rid of the 42. So we'll print this again and run. And as you can see, the 42 has now been removed. But you can remove it from anywhere within that range. So if we type in 3 instead and then run, you'll notice the 42 is there, but 32 has gone. And again, that's because it's 0, 1, 2, 3 rather than 1, 2, 3. You can use negative values on the array as well. So for example, if we go print our ages and we type in -2, then we end up with 37. So 37 is actually the last item there. So 37 is the second from the last. So by typing in -2, we're going from the end of the array and we're going 1 and 2, and that retrieves that number. If we were to go -0, naturally that would make no sense at all. It should just pull up the first index value. So we'll try that now. As you can see, that's just come up with the first one. So if you want to go backwards to the array by 1, then you type in -1, And there you go, you start with 42, and if you want to go 2, etc, etc, you can just go backwards through the array. If you ended up typing a very high number like 12, then it will just crash the program because you've gone beyond the index of the array. So negative allows you to go from the right to the left, whereas a normal index will allow you to go from the left to the right in terms of order. Another way of removing an item from an array, which you may come across, is using the pop method. So we simply go our ages dot pop, and we give it the index we wish to remove. And this allows us to target a very specific index, so let's get rid of 18, for example, which should be 2 on the list. We get rid of this one here. And when we run it, you'll notice that 18 is gone. So let's try targeting number 1. Now you notice that 16 is gone, because again we're back to the 0 to end of statement. If we ever want to find out how many items are in our list, then all we have to do is type in print and then len, which is a standalone function, and our ages, and as you can see it now prints 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if we do a quick append and a repeat, and then repeat this line here, it should go up to 6. And finally, if for any reason you wish to clear the entire array, you can simply go our ages dot clear, and then when we try to print out our array, it should return nothing at all. As you can see, it's now printing out an empty array. In the next video, we're going to learn how to create dictionaries, and this is another way of organizing large amounts of data within your program. Hi, if you'd like to see more content from us, please like and subscribe this channel. Thank you.